All right, we're going to make our picks, but first, let's see what Gene Williams, Irish O'Fell, Jeff Cameron, the rest of the Warchant crew have to say about this upcoming game against Virginia Tech.
Finally, another home game for Florida State. It seems like it's been forever. They host the Hokies this Saturday, and I'm expecting a big bounce back for Florida State. Not in terms of winning, they will keep winning, but in terms of we'll see a more finished product on the field, especially in the run game where Florida State was limited to a Mike Norvell era low 22 yards against Clemson. I think the team will be healthier, especially on offense. Jordan Travis, the running element's going to be back there. So look for a big game from Trey Benson and that entire running back core. I think well over 200 yards rushing in this game. And they're going to be clicking. I think you'll see a better performance by the defense, which has had its struggles here and there, getting off the field a little quicker. So expect the Noles in a big one here, 58-17, moving to 5-0 on the season.
What's up, gang? Prediction time for Florida State, Virginia Tech, if I can speak. And I always make these pretty succinct. Been thinking about it, wrestling back and forth with it. Let's go with the cover. Let's go with Florida State 45, Virginia Tech 20. 45-20, Florida State over Virginia Tech.
I really think the bye week came at a perfect time for Florida State, and I think they used it well. I think, now you're going to get guys like Robert Scott potentially back at left tackle. You might have Kentron Portier and Ja'Kai Douglas back at receiver. I think Jordan Travis is another couple weeks healthier from the shoulder injury he sustained a few weeks ago, about a month ago at this point. So I think you're going to see this Florida State offense that we've expected, we've wanted to see. I think the running game, they've spent a lot of time these last 2 weeks on the running game. I think we're going to see that come around. And this is not a very good Virginia Tech defense at all. So I think Florida State's going to roll. I think they're going to put up a lot of points, a lot of yards. I'm going to say Florida State's going to win this game 56-13. Virginia Tech might get a couple plays here or there, but I think Florida State's going to put together probably their most dominant performance against the Power 5 opponent this Saturday at Doak Campbell Stadium.
I think this game is going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I don't think Virginia Tech will be able to establish the traditional run, but I think drones is going to be a huge problem for Florida State this week. I give it 42 Florida State. I'll go 28 Virginia Tech. I do think drones is going to, again, be a problem, and he's going to be the reason why they score 28 points.
Teams have been able to move the ball a little bit on the Seminoles, but I just don't really see how Virginia Tech slows down this FSU offense too much. I think I picked Florida State 36-20.
All right, you heard from everybody on our staff. Now it's our turn here on the panel to make our predictions. Tom Lang, it's the ACC home opener for Florida State, 3:30, nationally televised, ABC, 24-point favorite last time I saw it as we record this. Not going to make you say against the spread unless you want to do that sort of thing, by all means, Tom. But how do you see this game shaking out for Florida State? Number 5 in the country. All eyes will be on Texas in that noon window. But then 3:30, Florida State gets their chance to step up and show what they're all about.
Home sweet home. It's nice to be back at Doak. Only one game so far this season, ACC home opener in the first weekend of October. It seems kind of strange, but I think the offense will be able to roll. There might not be as many possessions as you would want, but they're going to be pretty efficient in this game. I think Florida State does cover. I'll address it. I think Florida State does cover. I'm going to go Florida State 48, Virginia Tech 21.
Oh, all right. Corey, what do you think about this matchup for Florida State? You don't have to say necessarily against the odds makers, but how do you see the game shaking out on Saturday?
Yeah, but once I give my score prediction, can't people do the math in their heads and just throwing the right, Tom? Right? I think it's going to be around 41-20. I think, as Tom said, the possessions will probably be down a little bit, but I just expect, especially from what I saw in practice this past week, I think the offense will play very well. Again, we need to understand that nobody has receivers like this. Maybe out in the West Coast, in Seattle. But other than that, nobody has a pair like this. And while they hopefully will get other people involved, Destin Hill, I'm looking at you, buddy. Even if they don't, Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman versus a normal secondary is bad news for that secondary. And so I just think that the quarterback for them, Drones, will make some plays because I think he's a pretty talented kid. I think he's also going to make us a mistake. I'd like to see this team force a mistake. And I just think I just hope they get off to a good start. But even if they don't, I think the final's somewhere around the 21-point range. Okay, right. Could be 24, though, Aslan. I don't know. Could be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was trying to feel it out and watch the game last week that Virginia Tech had. And, man, they looked really good. I mean, they looked noticeably, exceptionally better than I anticipated they would. This quarterback is a threat. Bashal Tuttle, their running back, is also a legitimate back they have. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, it really was like the energy of Lane Stadium, which is crazy, guys. I don't know if just go watch the replay for a minute and a half or so.
Why are they so fired up about that team? But God love them. That fan base is great.
Absolutely. I mean, it is crazy there, but they're not going to have that behind them on Saturday. They're going to be playing Parents Weekend, Florida State. Everybody will be in their seats for the most of this game. So I think the passing game will find its way. I don't know if the running game's ever going to really end up being what we anticipated it was, but that's fine because this passing game is so dynamic. I'm going to go with 42-17. So that's my final score. That's my prediction on this one. We will see how the game does shake out. Obviously 3:30, and then afterwards, 10 to 15 minutes following it, you can hang out with Tom Lang and Gene Williams on the post-game show presented by DeLuna Coffee.